What if I told you that an ancient text hidden for centuries holds secrets capable of altering everything we know about faith, history, and even our place in the universe? Imagine a book, banned by the very church that shaped our understanding of God, that contains forbidden truths about angels, giants, and the ultimate fate of mankind. The Book of Enoch, a sacred text often overlooked, might just be the key to unlocking mysteries that have been concealed for millennia. So why, after all these years, have we not heard more about it? What is so dangerous about the truths within this book that the religious establishment felt the need to suppress it? In this video, we are diving deep into the untold story of Enoch, a man who walked so closely with God that he received visions of the divine, visions that no other human was allowed to see. We'll uncover the shocking details of these revelations, the powerful symbolism of the fallen angels, and the giants who once roamed the earth. You'll hear about the book that was cast out, and why its contents were too controversial for the early church to embrace. You will understand why Enoch's story and his forbidden book are more relevant today than ever before. We'll uncover the hidden messages of redemption, the warnings from the divine, and how this ancient text could potentially reshape our modern understanding of faith and spirituality. If this video resonates with you, if the mysteries of the past stir something deep within your soul, I invite you to support this journey. Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button if you believe in uncovering the truths hidden from us, and subscribe for more videos that bring light to the dark corners of history and faith. This isn't just a journey into the past. This is a journey into the heart of the divine truth waiting to be revealed. Enoch and Cain, from the devil to the founder of cities. In the vast history of humankind, few figures are as entwined with the narrative of sin, redemption, and legacy as Cain and his son, Enoch. Cain, the firstborn son of Adam and Eve, made a name for himself not by greatness, but through an act of violence that forever marked the human race. He was the first to commit murder, slaying his brother Abel out of jealousy, and in doing so, he became a symbol of the devastating consequences of unchecked emotion and sin. And yet, despite this dark origin, Enoch, his son, came into the world as something altogether different. A paradox, a glimmer of hope in a lineage stained by blood. Cain, after murdering Abel, was cast out from the garden, marked for his crime and forced to wander the earth. Yet his legacy was not one of mere punishment, but one of defiance and transformation. For in his exile, he founded the first city. This act was not just a step toward survival, but an assertion of humanity's resilience and determination. Cain's city, a place born out of bloodshed, became the cradle for generations to come. Enoch, his son, inherited the weight of this tainted legacy. But here lies the beauty of this story, a tale of overcoming one's heritage. Enoch, unlike his father, did not succumb to the temptations of sin. He sought redemption and a path far removed from the violence that defined his lineage. Cain's city, a symbol of his defiance, was overshadowed by the new creation Enoch would bring forth. While Cain built the city out of survival and defiance, Enoch's legacy was one of spiritual awakening and the pursuit of a higher purpose. It is said that Enoch walked with God, Genesis 5:24, a phrase that reveals a deep connection to the divine, one that transcended his earthly beginnings. This juxtaposition between father and son is a profound reminder that one's lineage does not determine their destiny. Cain's bloodline was stained by violence, but Enoch chose a different path, one of faith, redemption, and the pursuit of a relationship with God. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Regardless of the mistakes of our ancestors, we each have the power to carve our own path. Redemption is not just a concept, it is a living, breathing reality for those willing to seek it. Enoch builds the city, achievement and pain. As the son of Cain, Enoch's story cannot be separated from the legacy of his father. However, where Cain built a city as an act of defiance against God, Enoch's approach was different. In his pursuit of spiritual awakening, Enoch became a symbol of transformation. He built a city that would not only survive but transcend the mistakes of the past. The city Enoch founded was not just a physical place, it was a spiritual testament to the power of redemption. In building this city, Enoch sought to create a space where humanity could thrive, not in the shadow of violence but in the light of faith. He understood that a city built on the principles of righteousness would be a beacon of hope for future generations, a refuge from the darkness that once prevailed. Yet this achievement was not without its pain. To build something truly great often requires sacrifice, and Enoch's journey was no exception. He had to confront the demons of his past, both personal and ancestral, in order to establish a foundation strong enough to support the future. The pain of his father's legacy weighed heavily on him, yet it was through this very pain that Enoch found his purpose. The city he built was not just a physical structure. It was a symbol of transformation, proof that even the darkest origins can give rise to something beautiful and lasting. Enoch's journey is a powerful reminder that greatness is not born out of perfection, but from the willingness to confront one's flaws and rise above them. It is through facing the most painful parts of our lives that we find the strength to build something better. The city Enoch founded serves as a metaphor for our own lives. We all have the power to create something lasting, something meaningful, no matter the circumstances of our birth or the weight of our past. But it requires faith, perseverance, and the courage to build upon a foundation of truth, even when the path forward is uncertain. Through Enoch's story, we learn that no matter where we come from, we have the power to change the course of our future. The mistakes of the past do not have to define us. Instead, they can serve as the very fuel for our transformation. Like Enoch, we can choose to rise above the darkness and build a legacy that reflects our highest ideals and deepest values. The lessons from Enoch's life resonate deeply in our own. We too are capable of building something beautiful, whether it's a career, a family, or a life dedicated to a higher purpose. But this journey requires us to confront our own pain, to acknowledge our weaknesses, and to rise above them. The city Enoch built stands as a beacon of hope for all who are willing to walk the difficult but rewarding path of transformation. Enoch's life was not without its trials, but it is in those trials that we find the strength to create something of lasting value. Through his example, we learn that greatness is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise above it, to build something worthy from the rubble of our past. His city was not just a physical place, it was a testimony to the power of faith, perseverance, and the unwavering belief that no matter where we begin, we can always create something better. As we reflect on Enoch's story, we must ask ourselves, what are we building? Are we allowing the pain and mistakes of our past to define us? Or are we using them as the foundation for something greater? The choice is ours, and like Enoch, we too can create a legacy that will stand the test of time. The journey from Cain's legacy to Enoch's city is a story of profound transformation, one that speaks to the heart of the human experience. It reminds us that despite our beginnings, we are all capable of change, growth, and the creation of something meaningful. Enoch's life is a testament to the power of redemption and the potential for all of us to rise above our circumstances and build something that will last. As we move forward in this exploration of Enoch's life, let us reflect on our own paths. Are we building our cities with the wisdom of the past, or are we letting our past dictate the future? Enoch's journey is not just a historical tale. It is a living reminder that redemption, growth, and transformation are always possible, no matter where we begin. Enoch and the spiritual awakening. As we continue to walk through the journey of Enoch's life, we come to one of the most profound transformations in his story, the moment he began to awaken spiritually. Enoch, who had inherited his legacy from Cain, found himself at a crossroads between the past that shaped him and the future he longed to create. While his father's city stood as a monument to defiance, Enoch sought something higher. He began to walk not just as a man, but as one deeply connected to the divine, a man whose heart began to seek God with sincerity. In the depths of his heart, Enoch knew there was more to life than the cities and accomplishments of this world. Despite his remarkable achievements and the city he had built, something within him stirred, a longing for the eternal, for a connection that transcended the fleeting victories of earthly success. Enoch walked with God. These words from Genesis carry more than a simple historical account. They reveal a profound relationship, a man reaching out to the Creator, striving for spiritual alignment. This phrase doesn't simply refer to Enoch's obedience or his rituals. It suggests a deep, ongoing interaction with God, where Enoch became attuned to the divine will, seeking to live not just for himself, but for something far greater. This spiritual awakening was not an immediate transformation. It was a slow, often painful process, where Enoch wrestled with the sins of his ancestry and the pull of his past. He realized that to walk with God, one had to let go of the earthly distractions that could easily take the place of true faith. In this quiet surrender, Enoch discovered the power of listening, not just to his own heart, but to the voice of God, which beckoned him to a higher calling. He was not just a builder of cities, but a builder of faith, seeking the kind of success that transcends the material world. His journey towards spiritual awakening is a reminder that each of us has the potential to transform, no matter where we start. The path to spiritual clarity is often clouded by life's distractions and the weight of our past. Yet, like Enoch, we are called to step forward, to leave behind the things that hold us down, and to seek that deep connection with the divine. For it is in this connection that we find true peace, true guidance, and ultimately, true redemption. Enoch's story challenges us. Are we building cities that will stand the test of time? Or are we building our lives upon foundations that crumble? Are we walking with God, seeking His presence in every step? Or are we lost in the busyness of our own desires? The lesson is clear. Spiritual awakening requires us to slow down, to listen deeply, and to allow our hearts to align with God's purpose. Only then can we begin to experience the fullness of life He has intended for us. Visions and warnings from heaven. As Enoch walked with God, his life took a turn into the realms of the supernatural. He was not just a man seeking God. He was chosen to receive visions from heaven, divine revelations that would shape his understanding of the world and the future of humankind. In these visions, Enoch saw what the eyes of many others could not. He witnessed the fall of the angels, the rebellion of the heavenly beings, and the coming judgment upon the earth. One of the most striking elements of Enoch's visions was his encounter with the fallen angels, beings of great power who had forsaken their heavenly place and descended to earth. These angels, known as the Watchers, took human wives and birthed a race of giants, the Nephilim, who brought chaos and destruction to the earth. Enoch was chosen to deliver a message of judgment to these fallen angels, warning them of the consequences of their rebellion. In his visions, he saw how the world would eventually face the ultimate judgment, a great flood that would cleanse the earth of its wickedness and restore the balance between heaven and earth. These visions were not just glimpses into the future, they were warnings. Enoch's role as the messenger of God carried great responsibility. He did not just see the coming judgment, he also saw the suffering that would come to those who turned their backs on God. Yet, amid these terrifying revelations, there was also hope. A promise that the righteous would be saved, that God's plan would ultimately prevail. and that redemption was still possible for those who sought his ways. The visions that Enoch received serve as a powerful reminder for us today. We too are called to live with awareness of the divine, to understand the consequences of our actions, and to prepare ourselves for the judgments that come when we stray too far from God's path. Just as Enoch was chosen to deliver these divine messages, we are all called to heed the warnings of the world around us. The signs are there. The call to righteousness is clear. Yet, just as Enoch's message was often ignored in his time, we too must ask ourselves, are we paying attention to the warnings that God has given us? Are we willing to change our ways before it is too late? Enoch's visions offer us insight into the eternal struggle between good and evil. The fallen angels represent the forces of rebellion, the temptation to forsake divine order for personal gain. Yet Enoch's warnings also show us that, even in the face of judgment, there is always hope. The flood that cleansed the earth was a symbol of purification, a second chance for humanity to align with God's will. It is a reminder that even in the darkest times there is light, and through repentance we can return to the divine. These visions from heaven also point to the importance of living a life that is attuned to the spiritual realm. In our daily lives, it is easy to become lost in the chaos of the world, focused on material concerns and the demands of the present. But Enoch's story calls us to lift our eyes to a higher perspective, to live with an awareness that our actions have eternal consequences. Just as Enoch was given the privilege of seeing the grand scope of God's plan, we too can seek a deeper understanding of our purpose in this life by aligning ourselves with God's will. The messages Enoch received from heaven were not just for his time, they resonate with us today. We too are part of a larger story, one that is unfolding in ways we may not yet fully understand. But like Enoch, we are called to be faithful stewards of the knowledge and revelations that have been given to us. We are to live in accordance with God's will, to heed the warnings of the world, and to embrace the hope that He offers, even in the midst of difficult times. Through Enoch's life and his visions, we are reminded of the eternal battle between light and darkness, and the call to choose the path of righteousness. Enoch's journey, from his spiritual awakening to his receipt of visions from heaven, invites us to reflect on our own relationship with God and the world around us. Are we walking with God, listening to His voice, and preparing for the future He has promised? Enoch's life serves as a powerful testament to the transformative power of faith, the importance of spiritual vigilance, and the hope that comes with aligning ourselves with God's divine plan. Enoch and the Forbidden Book. The mystery and historical story. In the shadows of history lies a secret that has been buried for centuries, a story veiled in mystery, waiting to be uncovered. The Book of Enoch, an ancient text that was once widely known, now lies on the fringes of religious tradition, rejected by many. Yet its contents hold profound truths, revealing secrets about the celestial world, the fall of angels, and the fate of humanity. Why was this book hidden away, and what truths does it contain that were considered too dangerous to reveal? To understand this mystery, we must journey back to the ancient world, where Enoch, the seventh generation from Adam, was not merely a man, but a messenger, a seer, and a prophet. The Book of Enoch was not a small piece of writing, nor was it a mere historical account. It was a revelation, a work that stretched beyond the limits of human understanding, touching on the celestial realm and the future of the earth. Enoch, who had walked with God, had been granted visions of a reality far beyond what most could comprehend. These visions contained warnings of impending judgment, the rebellion of angels, and the rise of the Nephilim, giants born of fallen angels and human women. The revelations Enoch received were profound, detailing the grand tapestry of creation, the cosmic battle between good and evil, and the ultimate redemption of the righteous. Yet despite the significance of these revelations, The Book of Enoch was cast aside by the religious authorities. It was not included in the canonical texts of the Bible, nor was it embraced by the Church. The reasons for this exclusion are complex, but one thing is clear: the teachings within this book challenged the established religious order. The idea of angels rebelling against God, of giants walking the earth, and of a coming judgment was too radical, too controversial for the early church to accept. The Book of Enoch raised questions about the nature of good and evil, the role of angels, and the fate of humanity, questions that the religious leaders of the time were not ready to address. In fact, the Book of Enoch was so controversial that it was eventually banned and removed from the biblical canon. It became a forbidden text, hidden away from public view, regarded as heretical by those in power. But why? What was so threatening about Enoch's message? Perhaps it was the unsettling truths it revealed about the corruption of angels and the disastrous consequences of their rebellion. Or perhaps it was the way the book challenged traditional views of God's divine plan, suggesting that there were greater cosmic forces at play in the history of the world than anyone had ever imagined. The mysteries contained within the Book of Enoch are not just theological or religious. They are deeply human. The book speaks to our fears, our doubts, and our longing for understanding. It calls us to question the boundaries of the world we know, and to look beyond the surface to uncover the deeper truths that lie beneath. It asks us to confront the reality of evil in the world, the consequences of sin, and the hope for redemption. In many ways, it is a mirror of our own struggles, fears, and desires for truth. Despite its rejection by the religious authorities, the Book of Enoch has survived the centuries, preserved in various ancient manuscripts, and rediscovered in modern times. The book's continued existence serves as a testament to its power and its enduring relevance. The mysteries contained within its pages still resonate with those who seek a deeper understanding of the world and of their place in it. It is a reminder that there are always more truths to be uncovered, more mysteries to be explored, and more lessons to be learned. In the face of adversity, Enoch's story continues to shine brightly. He was a man who sought the truth, who walked with God, and who received revelations that transcended the limits of human knowledge. And yet, even as he shared these revelations with the world, he faced rejection and persecution. His book was cast aside, his message ignored, but his legacy lives on. Enoch's journey speaks to the heart of our own struggles, reminding us that even in the face of rejection, we can remain faithful to our calling and to the truths we have received. As we consider the legacy of the Book of Enoch, we must ask ourselves, what are we willing to accept as truth? What are we willing to question, even if it challenges the traditions and beliefs we have held dear? The story of Enoch is not just a tale from ancient times. It is a call to all of us to seek the truth, to look beyond the surface, and to uncover the mysteries that lie hidden within the depths of history and faith. Enoch's book was not just a forbidden text. It was a key, a door to a deeper understanding of the spiritual realm and the fate of humanity. His visions revealed a cosmic drama unfolding in ways that no one could have anticipated, a drama that touches on the very essence of good and evil, light and darkness. The book's exclusion from the Bible may have been an attempt to silence its message, but the story of Enoch and the forbidden book is far from over. Its message, though suppressed for centuries, continues to speak to us today, urging us to search for the truth, to understand the mysteries of the universe, and to seek redemption in the face of a world that is often too quick to turn away from the difficult questions. The Book of Enoch holds within it not only a historical mystery, but also a personal one. It asks each of us to reflect on the deeper truths of our lives, the choices we make, and the spiritual path we walk. It calls us to rise above the distractions of the world and to listen to the whisper of the divine that guides us towards a greater understanding of who we are and what we are meant to become. In the end, the story of Enoch and his forbidden book is not just a tale of ancient history. It is a living, breathing message for us all. It is a call to seek the truth, to confront the darkness, and to embrace the light. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of things and to uncover the deeper meanings that lie hidden beneath. Enoch's legacy, like his book, endures because it speaks to the heart of the human experience, the quest for truth, for understanding, and for redemption. And as we continue on our own spiritual journey, we would do well to remember that the path to wisdom is often hidden in places we least expect, and that the greatest truths are sometimes the ones that have been silenced for the longest time. As we bring this journey to a close, I want to reflect on the incredible power of the stories we've uncovered together. The tale of Enoch, his life, his spiritual awakening, and the forbidden book that has been hidden away for centuries, is not just an ancient story. It is a timeless message that resonates with each of us today. Enoch's life shows us the transformative power of faith, the courage to walk in the light, even when surrounded by darkness, and the profound impact of standing firm in the truth. We all face moments when the weight of our past, the mistakes and the sins of the world around us, can feel overwhelming. Enoch's story teaches us that no matter where we start, no matter the burdens we carry, there is always hope. We can walk with God. We can seek redemption and spiritual awakening, just as Enoch did. It's a journey that may be long and difficult, but it is one filled with grace and transformation, leading us to a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are truly meant to become. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and constant challenges, it's easy to lose sight of our spiritual path. But like Enoch, we are called to listen to the whisper of the divine, to find strength in our faith, and to walk toward the light that guides us, no matter how dim that light may seem at times. The Book of Enoch, though hidden for centuries, is a reminder that there are truths deeper than we often realize. Truths about the angels, about our role in the cosmic battle between good and evil, and about the ultimate redemption that awaits those who seek the light. When we dive into these stories, we don't just learn about the past. We find hope for the present and the future. We find a guide for our own spiritual journeys, a map that shows us the way forward when we feel lost, when we feel uncertain, or when we feel overwhelmed by the struggles of life. The message of redemption, the promise of hope, and the assurance that we can always walk with God. These are the truths that continue to shine through, even after centuries of silence. If this video has touched your heart, if it has helped you find clarity or strength in your own journey, I invite you to join me in spreading this message. By liking and subscribing, you are supporting not just this channel, but the deeper message of love, redemption, and faith that we share here. If you feel that this video has given you a glimpse of the light amidst the darkness, or helped you find peace in moments of turmoil, your support means the world to me. Every word, every like, and every comment is a small contribution to a larger purpose, and it helps keep the light shining brightly for those who need it most. Your energy, your encouragement, and your presence here are invaluable. They remind me that we are all in this together, striving for something greater than ourselves. The truth that Enoch discovered is the same truth that is available to each of us today, and it's something worth sharing. So if you feel that this message has added something meaningful to your life, I humbly ask for your continued support, not just for this video, but for the mission to keep bringing messages of light, faith, and hope. Your presence, your encouragement, and your engagement are the fuel that keeps this journey going, and for that, I am truly grateful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for walking this path with me, for sharing in the discovery of these sacred truths, and for supporting the mission to spread these messages far and wide. May we all continue to walk with faith, seeking the light, even when the path seems uncertain, and trusting that the divine is always with us, guiding us toward the ultimate redemption that awaits us all. Let us keep sharing these stories, not just as words, but as living testimonies of the power of faith, the strength of redemption, and the boundless love that God has for each of us.